The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content, secret contest, and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead.
It's time to start a podcast that we knew we would one day have to do.
Yeah, man, I didn't see it coming so soon, though.
We just never imagined when it would happen, and now that it's upon us, we're a little sad. But before we begin, I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And we're The Podcasting Dead, a podcast that originated talking about The Walking Dead. We love The Walking Dead, and if you're a fan of the show, definitely consider subscribing to our channel because we talk about what-if scenarios. We go through each episode and discuss it. We go through theories. So if you're a Walking Dead fan, I think you'll be at home here on our channel. But let's just dive right into it. JP, the end is in sight, but it's not time to cry just yet because there's still a lot of Walking Dead ahead of us.
Yeah, man, they are really doubling down on giving us some more episodes, which is good. It's good. I hope it's minimal filler content. Obviously, that was one thing with like the last season of The Sopranos. Man, there was like a lot more episodes, but it's just because they want to tie up each and every little character arc, and it got kind of tedious.
Right.
So I hope that's not what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, what I read on comicbook.com, okay, and according to them, and I've seen conflicting reports on this, but comicbook.com, I mean, they're usually pretty on point. I'm not going to say they're not flawless, but, that they are. I'm not going to say that they are flawless, but according to them, let's see, where is it? From what I'm seeing, AMC actually ordered 6 more episodes of season 10. Is that correct?
So this will not officially be the season finale, just kind of a season finale.
If that's correct, because I could be wrong. Let me go back to the top of this article. So, and of course, I wonder how long the actors in the show have known. But if you're just joining us, I'm sorry, the format's all off because it's a podcast we didn't ever plan on doing. But
yeah, and we just did like an hour-long podcast right before this one
for our Patreon. Yeah,
exactly.
So we might be a little brain dead. But so the end of The Walking Dead has officially been announced. It will end with season 11. However, they are going to stretch it out a bit so that it's not just open and close. See, what I'm seeing right here is The Walking Dead apparently has 31 episodes yet to air before it concludes its run. The original, and this is coming straight from comicbook.com, the original season 10 finale will air on October the 4th before 6 additional episodes are added to season 10 in the spring. Then 24 episodes will run from the fall of 2021 to the end of 2022, tying up all the loose ends, save for Carol and Daryl. Now, here's the thing. All right, so we know in addition to these extra episodes, this extremely long season 11. And if that's true, if 6 extra episodes are coming to season 10, then I think if you do the math, you're only 2 episodes shy of it concluding with like season 12 normally. So you are getting, a lot of people had said they would be comfortable with it ending in season 12. And so you're kind of getting that in a way. But we also know that there's going to be some spinoff show. You've got a Daryl and Carol spinoff show that's in the works, or going to be in the works. And you also have one that I'm excited for, Tales of the Walking Dead, or Tales from the Walking Dead, and it's like an anthology. And what it's supposed to do is they might even resurrect some dead characters, and you'll get to see some of their stories. Now that's what I'm most excited for.
Yeah, same here.
Carol, I'm over Carol. Like I like Melissa McBride. I think she's a great actress. I think that Carol's been a great character, but I'm just not that into Carol anymore. I'm not saying kill her off, but at the same time, I'm just not really.
Yeah, I'd rather Daryl just get his own solo spinoff.
Right, man. I could see that.
They ain't got to tack on Carol.
But we know that's going to happen. But what I hate about knowing that now is that there's no suspense for these characters.
Right.
As we go through the last bit of The Walking Dead, which granted we're sitting here mourning it as if it's already dead, but we still got an easy 2 years left of it. But we just know when the end is. And sadly, that's the end of an era. But we know that Carol and Daryl aren't in any danger. And if it's a prequel show, I don't really get how that's going to work unless they're going to fill in some gaps during some of the time jumps. But like we pretty much know Carol and Daryl will be fine. And that's like my biggest complaint about The Walking Dead is stop telling us when it's characters' last episode. Stop telling us who's guaranteed to survive. I don't want to know that. Like, that's part of the adventure, you know?
Yeah, it is, man. It is. I would much rather see Carol die, and that kind of spurs the Daryl solo adventures, you know?
Right. Like, I totally don't think that they would kill Daryl unless it was at the end. They would have to give him some ceremonious death. Yeah. But, you know, Carol, that was half the attention. I think when you and I were talking about, like, the upcoming season 10, air quotes, finale, Carol was someone that might be on the chopping block. Yep. And now we know, no, not really. She gets her own spinoff show. So we know that she's going to be okay. Like I said, the Tales from The Walking Dead is what I'm looking the most forward to. Now, that's going to be cool as hell to, like, have these episodes showing, like, you know, maybe Bob's story. Because we didn't see any of Bob's story until he got to the prison. Abraham, you know, maybe we'll see him and Eugene prior to, you know, meeting up with Rosita or Eugene, Rosita, and Abraham before they met up with Tara and Glenn. So there's a lot of fun possibilities that can come from that. The Governor, because it's like an anthology. So, I mean, it's not like you're going to have a series of episodes connecting to each other. Not that some might not connect, but each episode could be focused on a different character. Or, you know, I don't know, maybe they'll do a few episodes. It depends on how big the story is. But like The Governor, how cool would that be to see the beginning of Woodbury?
Oh, yeah, dude. I know David Morrissey would be stoked to come back.
Oh, yeah. And they say that, according to comicbook.com, that what is it? Here's Negan is still on the table to be adapted. Now, whether or not that'll be its own series or not, who knows? But that would be a great episode for the Tales from The Walking Dead to see Negan's backstory. Like if they utilize the potential in that is great. That would be so fun to go back and get some backstory on some of these characters. But, you know, we've been with Carl pretty much the whole time. I mean, they still could, I guess, if they can figure out how to shrink him, because Chandler Riggs has hit puberty, and he just gets taller and taller every time I see him. So that's going to be a little bit hard. But we know the end is near. And, JP, how are you feeling? What were your thoughts when you saw that yesterday?
I mean, I was hoping we'd get maybe a solid 12 seasons. But at the same time, man, It's in a really good stride right now, and I'd rather it go out, you know, on a high note when it's still, you know, on par with the good seasons than, you know, just drag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, who's to say that Angela Kang couldn't have given us like 5 more awesome seasons? Who's to say? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, it's one of those where I'm with you. Like, let it go out on a high note. The only thing I don't know about is this 6 additional episodes for season 10. Now, that's on comicbook.com. I don't think I've seen that anywhere else. I know that I've read multiple places that season 11 is going to be 24 episodes. Right. Which is awesome. We're going to stretch that bad boy out. Yes, but I mean, if that's the case, you know, normally they stop at 16. So, you know, you do the math there. That's 8 extra episodes for season 11. Yeah. And then if you got 6 more episodes for season 10, I mean, you're just, like I said, like 2-3 episodes shy of actually having another 2 full seasons worth of episodes. So you kind of are. And according to comicbook.com, the Walking Dead movie starring Andrew Lincoln as Rick Grimes is still in development at Universal and Skybound. So, I mean, we're still getting a lot of Walking Dead. My main thing is, do you think I always thought, I knew they said that Andrew Lincoln was done with the show and was going to move to the movies, but I just always felt in my heart that Rick Grimes was going to make some return. Maybe not as a regular, but by the end of the show, we would see him, you know, something.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole, like, point of the movies has to be him making it back home to his family.
And we already know it's been, a 6-year-plus time jump here. Yeah. So, I mean, like, what has kept him... Again, Scott Gimple doing the thing that I find the most annoying about the franchise, telling us, and I can guarantee you it's going to be a trilogy and Rick Grimes will survive all 3. Don't tell me that, man. Like, yeah. I want the suspense. I mean, then now that you go into the movies knowing that, you know, you're just like, oh, boy, this is a tight situation. Looks like it's the end for Rick, but don't worry, we know. You know, but and all of this is just aggression. Like, it's not. I'm picking apart something I love because I love The Walking Dead. Yeah. So if you're new to the podcast, don't think that we get on here and rag on it. While we shoot it straight, it's like a good friend. We love it. to death, but we don't mind calling out its BS sometimes, too.
Now, we will rag on Fear the Walking Dead because, quite frankly, it deserves it. At least the last 2 seasons.
Give us back the season 3 type story.
Yeah. Man, just like almost how they kind of like rebooted the Halloween movie franchise. They just pretended like nothing after the first movie ever happened and just picked up there. Let's pretend like 4 and 5 never happened. Let's just pick up after season 3.
Yep.
Nick's still alive, the whole thing.
I'm down for that. So how do you, and I know it's way too far in advance to discuss this now, do you have any way that in your head that you see the Walking Dead ending?
Well, man, I mean, they're definitely going to do the Commonwealth storyline. And I think, like we've said in other podcasts, they're definitely going to have that Rick Dwight moment, the Big Bang.
Where someone's going to have to kill someone.
Someone is going to have to kill somebody. And I think...
Which I know that's very vague. It's like, no shit, that's kind of the point of the whole show. But I mean, someone is going to kill... Someone you like is going to kill someone else that you like.
And I think it will end with a big time jump. But then that kind of, I don't know.
I mean, they could end it with a big time jump, and then that just kind of shows you, opens up for Carol and Daryl,
Yeah.
Then they could kill off one of, if not both of them, and then somehow have the in between. But
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I want to see one of 2 things.
Okay.
All right. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not an emotional person, but I'm a sucker for seeing people you've lost at the end, like. All right, I'm going to get really cheesy here, right? Okay. I'm going to catch a lot of shit for this.
No.
The end of Titanic.
Yeah.
Where she goes to, I don't know where the hell she goes, to a dream, or she died. I assume she died. I remember reading in the notes that James Cameron told Kate Winslet, or told the older actress, that was playing, the older Kate Winslet's character, not to hold her breath when she was laying there for the final shot. It was up to you to decide if she died or was dreaming. But any time in a show or a movie where someone dies, and it's cliche and it's overdone, but they see people they've lost, I'm a sucker for that shit, man.
Yeah.
Hits me right in the feels. I'm a sucker for it. I think we all just like the idea that when we die, people will be there waiting for us or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it boils down to, but I'm a sucker for that. And there's been plenty of others that have done it. But if there's a moment where Maggie looks back and sees, if they could get the whole freaking cast of people that have died, and unfortunately, Scott Wilson won't be there. Now, they could probably digitally impose him, but just sees everyone kind of standing there, not necessarily going supernatural, oh yeah, this is their ghost smiling upon them. It could definitely be more of a mind thing, but just kind of reminiscing on all that they've been through. I want a scene where we see those we've lost. Or, as one YouTube commenter put it a while back during season 6, 5, something like that, I saw in the comment of a video, they said the way the show should end, and I talked about this on our Patreon cast, but is that you could have a crow in Atlanta picking on a walker. The crow gets a mouthful and he flies into the air. This could be played during a speech. This could be played just under somber, sad music. But the crow flies and through transitions over every location. We're above the crow looking down, and you're seeing him flying over Atlanta. He makes his way by Herschel's farm, turns up and makes his way by the prison, Woodbury. There are a lot of them are at ruin. Some of them could be populated now.
Yeah.
But just makes his way through all these iconic locations while you're getting this. Because spoilers, huge spoilers for the comics. We're about to tell you how the comics end. If you don't want to hear that, go away and come back in a few minutes, please. But we've got to discuss this to connect the dots. But, though I wasn't happy with The Walking Dead, all right, so you've been warned, so we're going to spoiler territory here. I did not like that they killed Rick Grimes, the way they killed Rick Grimes. I was okay with the fact that Rick would die one day, but I was not okay with the way they killed him. But I loved the way it ended with Carl telling the story, to his daughter and going through everything they'd been through. Now, in my mind, of course, we can't do that, Scott Gimple, because you killed off Carl. But if there was, somebody, Daryl, Carol, somebody is reading a child a story, maybe Maggie reading to Herschel Jr., because in the comics, Herschel Jr. was a complete dick. Maybe in the show, he won't be. But maybe we'll never get to that point with him being older, But maybe Maggie's reading Herschel Jr. the story of her and what they've been through. And as that's being told, you're seeing these old locations flashbacks, something. I'm a sucker. I get goosebumps now. Just even if some of the actors won't come back to do that, and you're not going to do like just seeing flashbacks as she's talking, man. I'm a sucker for stuff like that.
Really?
I want closure.
Yeah.
I want to reminisce. I want to cry. I don't cry very easily, and it's like I need this. I've got like a 10-year cry I've been holding in. So Walking Dead, be the one to release that for me. Yeah. But how would you like to see it close out, though? Like, just thinking about that. I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves, and people are already furiously typing in the comment section, you got 2 more years. Why are you talking about the end? Because I think it's on everybody's mind now that you know there's an end in sight. It's the end of an era. It's a show that's brought us great joy. We started a podcast because of it. We've made new friends all over the world because of it. And it's a show that will always be more than a show to me and hold a special place in my heart. So, of course, we're thinking about things like this. How would you like to see it close out? I'm all sentimental and want to see flashbacks and callbacks and dead characters and things like that. But I know not everybody is into that. How would you like to see them end it? Say it's the finale, the last episode, the last few minutes. JP's in the writer's seat. And I don't even think we introduced ourselves in the beginning of this, by the way. Did we?
I don't know.
If we didn't, I'm Justin.
I'm halfway here, brother. We've been doing this since like 6 a.m. this morning. But
yeah, I'm Justin. He's JP.
I'm
just
JP.
In case.
That's Leroy in the corner. Say hello, Leroy. Oh no, he's going to the bathroom.
Gotta pee.
Yeah, man. Like I don't know that I would necessarily want to see it like this, but Victor Strand is just sitting up on a throne.
I'm being serious.
I'm kidding.
We'll go to the Barn of Pleasures plenty of times. And if you don't know what that is, check out our channel and you'll hear what the Barn of Pleasures is. A very magical place that all Walking Dead characters go to do naughty things. Right. But you have to check out our channel.
No, I'm joking. I'm not going there. But,
I was like, please, JP.
No, man. Well, you I'm sure you read it. I'm pretty sure we talked about it. Robert Kirkman said one of the possible endings he had for the comic is at the end, you see the statue of Rick Grimes in Alexandria, but then you just see a sea of dead people, like everything fell apart.
Like the zombies won.
Right. And I think that would be a very interesting way to end it. I mean, it might put the kibosh on like future storytelling with these spinoff stories. But
well, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I can understand that because while I do want the callbacks, and it don't have to necessarily be a happy ending, but I kind of want a happy ending.
Yeah, and I mean, I do too.
Or at least a high note. I mean, it can be a somber, dark ending, but at the same time, I mean, I want some resolution. I want some closure with some of these characters we've come to get so close to. But, I mean, I would love to see an alternate universe where that's how they end it. Just like Maggie's giving a speech and it starts off sounding hopeful, but then it turns dark. I don't know why I keep saying Maggie. Probably because that Dern thing they released on Facebook, where it was Maggie talking and it was showing the flashbacks of the show. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. Mm-hmm. It is awesome. But maybe that's why I'm thinking. But
I could definitely see maybe like Judith reading a story to her young daughter Lori. Because in the comic, Carl's daughter's name is Andrea, right?
I believe so.
So yeah, that could that something like that could be cool.
But definitely wouldn't name Judith would not name her after Andrea.
No, I doubt they shared many stories with her about Andrea.
No, but no, I always thought Rick was going to circle back to the show and I always thought it would be like in the last few episodes. I never really thought there was going to be like Rick Grimes returning to the show full time. Yes. I mean, that kind of would be just about like Dumpster Gate 2016. It'd be like or 2015. 2016, it's season 6, but it'd be like Dumpster Gate. It's kind of like that's kind of a cop out just to get views. Rick Grimes leaving, just playing, he's back. No, but I mean, I definitely thought he would circle. I thought the whole point of the movies, like you mentioned, was Rick trying to get back to his family, and I thought it would conclude with after all these years. Which I'm sorry, man. I know she's out looking for him now, and that's cool. But Michonne's a very attractive lady.
Yes, she is.
And after all these years, I mean, I don't blame her if she's gotten with someone else.
No,
not to mention, she probably gets pretty lonely. But still, just somehow, it was going to end the series like where it began with Rick and it ends with Rick. You know what I mean?
Man, I really hope the first movie doesn't have like amnesia or some bullshit like that and doesn't remember who he is or what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
It's like season 1 Rick all that. I really hope they don't do something like that.
I don't think so. I don't think they would, because I know he was very against things like the whole thing being a coma dream of Rick's. And I know that's not the same as amnesia, but I kind of put it in the same ballpark. It's like cliches you can use to... so I would hope they wouldn't do the Rick amnesia thing. I mean, I'm thinking likely he gets experimented on by these people, or they got him prisoner.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I am super stoked for those movies. I've watched the Rick's leaving episode, man. And I don't know if it's divisive or not. I think pretty much everybody I personally talked to thought it was a good send off for Rick. But I love that episode so much. Like, I have watched that episode probably more than any other episode of The Walking Dead. Well, season 4's mid-season finale with the governor, Herschel's death, and Rick leaving are the two I have watched the most.
Yeah. Yeah, that final Rick episode, man, they pulled it off really well.
I just remember, because we didn't know, we had heard rumors that he might be surviving it, not dying, because at that point, you didn't know if he was going to live or die. And I just remember... just the lump in my throat when he, delivers that final line of "I found him" and pulls the trigger and blows up. And I remember just looking at my girlfriend and she's just bawling and crying, because for all we know, that was the end of Rick just died.
Yeah.
And it just, oh man, I loved it. I liked that all the characters were there. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't have been better, but I enjoyed the trips to the past with Shane. Mm-hmm. Like, that's something, honestly, I wouldn't be against seeing Shane and Lori pre-Rick's return.
Yeah.
Like from Tales from the Walking Dead.
Yeah, yeah.
But, I mean, it's coming to an end. But the thing is, we knew it was going to come to an end at some point. I mean, granted, not too long ago, they were like, oh, we could go 30 seasons with this show. And then now they're like, just playing. We're going to stop it at 11.
Yeah.
But... I know feelings are hurt, but at the same time, it's been an incredible ride so far, and it's not over yet. We still have a crap 30-something episodes before this show is going to conclude, and then we're going to get spinoffs, and which when the execs, or when Scott Gimple was talking about, it's okay, we've got these spinoffs. No. We've been scarred by your spinoffs before. Yeah. I'm looking at you, Fear the Walking Dead. But, and a lot of people weren't happy, myself kind of included. I get why they did it from we're in marketing for a living. We work in radio. We sell advertising. Marketing is part of what we do. And I understand completely, and I can't even say that I wouldn't do the same thing myself. But from a fan standpoint, I do hate that they pretty much withheld the finale to promote The World Beyond.
I do too.
Because, I mean, we both, and I know we don't speak for everyone at all, but we both have said since they announced this show, we were stoked. We were excited. This is going to connect kind of to the Rick thing, we think, and we're going to learn about the helicopter and we were stoked. We were happy to watch it. So it didn't matter whether it came on the same night as The Walking Dead. We still were going to watch it. And I think a lot of people were. And it's and if people didn't, then that's just to show that you really need to put effort into your spinoffs. But so when Scott Gimple promises these spinoffs as hey, it's going to be okay. We got more. I don't know why he's bippity boppity all of a sudden. Right. But, it's kind of we'll be the judge of that. Now, I have faith in the Rick movies because I like Andy Lincoln so much. I'm not saying the movie won't suck, but I will at least enjoy it my first time through because I'll be so happy to see Rick Grimes back in action.
Yeah, me too, man.
The Tales from the Walking Dead is what I'm most excited about.
I am too. I've said before, man, and I didn't think of it in terms of them using existing characters, but just a Walking Dead anthology show, kind of like Black Mirror. So I think it's even better that they are going to use existing characters. So,
man, it's so cool the fact that we can go back, and it's said in that comicbook.com article, there's a possibility they'll resurrect dead characters. Because, there's so many characters that we don't know much about beforehand. Like I said, Bob, Tyrese, and Sasha. He described to Herschel that when the world went to crap, they hid, and their neighbor was a big prepper and had this bunker, and he and Sasha hid in that until they ran out of food, and then they had to come out of it. We could see some of that journey from the bunker to the prison.
Yeah, man. I'd like to see Merle and Daryl making their way to Atlanta before they get up with the group.
I would like to see characters. Not that they need to go ahead and do it, though. I mean, not that Michael Rooker is old and almost about to die, but I mean, you never know. So go ahead and let's get it. Like that, you're exactly right. I would love to even go back to the beginning for some characters. How did Herschel see it? Which sadly we won't get because Scott Wilson passed away. But like Merle and Daryl, where were they when it happened? How did they get with the group they wound up with? How did they react to it? Again, Shane and Lori's journey. We saw the flashback of them on the side of the road when they started dropping napalm in Atlanta. How did they get from there to that camp? We saw Carol in that flashback. So lots of possibilities that you can really do to feed. Like, now's the time to be good to your fans.
Yeah. Like,
these are things that I think a lot of us would love to see. We're open to new characters and spinoff shows, but the fact that, you're promising us like existing characters will be returning, like take this time to do fanfare.
Yeah.
Make us happy. Like questions we have, like the governor. Like I want to see some of especially if it's contained in one episode and it's not this long, drawn out, boring story, and you can kind of condense it all in one episode if it's going to be a true anthology. Like I want to see the governor's journey. Yeah, like how did the governor get from where he was? And then Milton mentioned that he knew the governor before he was the governor, and that he was a good man, and that he believed that he was still in there. So let us see the good governor. How cool would that be?
Yeah, man.
To see a good guy governor
and see what turned his mind.
Yep, and we know Penny had a lot to do with it. I believe Penny getting bitten because he told Milton, if I was like that then she'd still be here, alive, she'd still be alive. Yeah. So, and we could see more of Michonne and Andrea. Don't forget, there's like that whole, what is it? Like I don't know if it's a complete year, but it was like the whole time between the farm and Rick and them finding the prison. Rick and them had been on the road for a while, and I think it was a couple, 7 months or something, but don't quote me on the time. It's been a while. But then you had Michonne and Andrea on the road together, and Michonne told Carl when Carl was kind of weary of his dad after watching him bite homeboy's throat out and gut the rapist. Dude.
Yeah, dude. Oh.
She told Carl, and while we were on the road, Andrea brought me back. Your dad and you brought me back. Okay, so her and Andrea had some adventures. Let's see that. Not that you can ever fully redeem the character of Andrea because she kind of sucked, but this might be your chance to paint her in a different light. Like, give us an Andrea we like versus, the Andrea that just couldn't get off the Governor's Johnson long enough to see how crazy he was, even though every sign was there.
The dick game was too good.
He was the governor of that ass. Mm-hmm. But so I'm excited, man. I know we're kind of rambling here, but that's just what we kind of do on the podcast. We are a podcast that talks about The Walking Dead. It's a show we're passionate about, and we know if you've clicked this link and you're still listening, it's a show you're passionate about too. So as soon as the episodes start back, you can best believe we'll be doing our live stream reviews of the episode immediately after the episode. The only thing I don't know about is the finale, because World Beyond starts immediately after that.
Yeah, that would make for a late night. So we're going to figure it out.
We might have to skip that one. I don't know though. That's the finale, and then we're going to be a few months without The Walking Dead. So I don't know. I kind of feel like part of me is like, yeah, we should probably skip that one. But then I'm like, but I don't know. That'll be the last live stream we do for several months, and we haven't done a live stream in so long. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe I might just TiVo The World Beyond, and then we could do the live stream and then go back and rewatch it. I don't.
We'll figure it out, man.
We'll figure something. But either way, you'll still be getting your episode to episode reviews.
Yes.
Of each episode as we get on this journey get on this road to the end. And we'll definitely be talking theories. So if you are a Walking Dead fan, this is our favorite time in podcast, and we podcast about paranormal things and conspiracies and other stuff. But man, our bread and butter is The Walking Dead, and now that things are ramping back up, we are so stoked to get this podcast back into Walking Dead mode. So,
yes.
Consider hitting the subscribe button, even if you don't want to subscribe because you don't know that you like this enough to repeat listen to us. Maybe just drop us a like on this. It helps us out a ton. And if you did enjoy the conversation, make sure you check out our Patreon. We podcast, we give 2 extra podcasts a week that are Patreon exclusive only, and you can get that. It's a total of 8 podcasts a month, 2 per week for $1.
Yes.
So, I mean, what's a
Great
dollar?
value.
What's $1, right? Great value, absolutely. So, yeah, we'll continue as things develop. We just felt like it wasn't right that we didn't have a podcast out when the announcement of the end of The Walking Dead was announced. So, We're definitely discussing that. If we think of more things, we'll definitely be back to talk about that. But in the meantime, after podcasting for about the last 2 or 3 hours straight, I think we are ready to go get some lunch.
I'm hungry. I'm tired, and we still got more work to do, man.
We do.
We got radio work to do.
We do.
We gotta go press the flesh. Damn it.
So we're going to go jump on that. But in the meantime, thank you so much for listening. I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And we are the Podcasting Dead. We'll see you soon. Do that noise again. I hit the mic too early.